rather like you don't need the additives?
Yeah, to me, it comes down to transparency. And so I have no problem with producers that use additives if they were to disclose it on the label. But because it's not legally required, no one discloses it. So consumers are being tricked, and that consumers are having a hard time figuring out what the hell they're buying, what they're putting in their bodies at the end of the day. And that to me is where it crosses the line. And we are all about the additive-free process because of transparency, and just we believe that if it's done right, you don't need the additives.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just crazy that in distilled spirits in the U.S., under like the USDA regulations, that we don't have to disclose what's in the bottle. We choose to, at Alma Del Jaguar, or at our brand, we choose to disclose what's in there by showing people our production notes on the side of our every single bottle, and then claiming, boldly that it is only 3 ingredients: agave, water, and yeast. And it's not the same for everybody, but yeah, the additive-free subsector, which is about now 100 brands. There's about 3,000 total tequila brands in the world, and only 100 of them are truly additive-free. We're the fastest growing subcategory in tequila because people are starting to wake up. Influencers and writers are starting to kind of shed light on this and, call out brands that are not doing it the right way. And, I think that's a great thing because, the other problem with it is a lot of the the brands that contain additives, they're still charging a whole lot of money for their product, even though it's actually a very cheap product just in a fancy bottle. So we're pretty passionate about the additive-free movement and what it means. There's a great resource called Tequila Matchmaker on this topic. So Tequila Matchmaker is an app and website that scores and reviews every single tequila brand out there. And there's a group of panel experts that review them. And then anybody, you or me or anybody, can download the app and review the tequilas as well. But then within that, they do an additive-free certification program where they do lab chemical analysis on tequilas that are interested in being certified additive-free, and then like a sensory analysis to confirm, the statements. Unfortunately, when money's behind something in business, people will tend to, lie or be deceitful in their marketing. So, you can't just take a brand's word for it, and you shouldn't take my word for it. But you can go to their website and see that we've been audited, right? A third party has audited our brand, done chemical and sensory analysis on it, and confirmed, at an arm's length that our brand is indeed additive free. We're actually number 3 on the list. And it's a huge honor to be a part of that group. But that's why I like it, because it's, this third party that's doing it. It's not just the marketing team at some big conglomerate claiming it.
Right. Yeah. Like you see with the FDA and the way, different things over time have been like, no, they're very healthy for you. And then years later, they're like, not healthy at all, actually causes cancer, could kill you. Like, so.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, there's some of these chemical additives like glycerin, which is a product derived from soap. People put it in the spirit to give it a thicker mouthfeel and to cover the alcohol burn. But you can be allergic to that, right? And if people are putting that in the product and you have this allergy you're unaware of, that can be, who knows what could happen. That can be very harmful. And I think that's where, to me, it's just like ridiculous that they don't have to disclose what they're putting in these products. And the counter argument is, well, it's only 1% by volume of what they're putting in the brands, but these are it's not just sugar. Like, these are chemical lab engineered sweeteners like aspartame that are 8,000 to 10,000 times sweeter than sugar. So just, highly concentrated chemical sweeteners just takes a few drops for someone to have an allergic reaction or to totally change the profile of the spirit. And to us, it's just like totally getting away from what inspired us to get into this business to begin with. And I can just go on and on about this.
Well, I mean, we're also now living in a time that luckily people are more conscious as to what they are putting in their body. And, obviously alcohol is a huge one for a lot of people, with the dry January that we are in right now as we're recording this, and we have people that, are, reevaluating their relationship when it does come to alcohol. And then when it when they are putting alcohol in their body, they're wondering what is actually in this that is, can affect me, or, there's certain things that, I imagine a lot of these additives could be a lot of the reason why some of these people have bad hangovers or things of that nature. And if they would have realized that they have all these other additives that are in there, that's why they're having this. It's not the liquor itself. It's everything that they, get put in it and don't realize it, because like you said, you don't have to put anything on the label that you don't want to. And I'm so glad that you guys are so transparent when it comes to that, because we need more, not only spirits, but more companies in general saying, all right, well, this is everything we're putting in it, buy it or don't, in case you are allergic, because a lot of people don't realize they're allergic to certain things until, sometimes too late.
Yeah, and we've designed our brand and company to try to be where the industry is going, not where it is today or where it's been. So if we close our eyes and imagine where the tequila industry and spirits industry is going to be, 5-10 years from now, we think that these topics around sustainable production, around, chemicals and chemical manipulants, additives being put in stuff, are just going to be more and more talked about and more relevant. So we want to be the brand that's skating to where the puck is going, right? Not where it is right today or where it's been. And so we do think that, and I like to point this out, is, you can be a smart entrepreneur and a smart business person that still does things the right way. And this is sort of the business case justification for these decisions. We think we're doing it because we believe in it, but also we're doing it because we believe it's like a sound investment in our brand and a sound investment in where the industry is going. And that's really cool when those two things align, right? And as opposed to diverge.
Yeah, I mean, I love that you guys are looking forward as opposed to, all right, well, what's worked over the years, we'll just do that because obviously it works, and so we'll just keep, the status quo. But, you need to be more on the cutting edge. You need to be thinking ahead as to where things are going or where things, you hope that do go. And, it's good that you guys are actually, your mindset is that way.
In that regard too, everything about our marketing strategy in terms of the lifestyle components, we've talked a lot about the production process, the product itself, which we've won a lot of awards just based on the product quality. But in terms of the branding, because ultimately we're a brand, right, that has to be something bigger than just the product. Our branding looks and feels very different than a lot of our competitors. So most of the successful tequila brands at a national and international level in the last 20 years have followed something that goes like this. It's engage a celebrity to promote it, show the product being consumed on the red carpet at nightclubs with models with fancy cars and yachts and all the stuff. And when you go to Jalisco and see the agrarian nature of where this product comes from, the agave ranches, it's really like a cowboy ranching culture. It's hard to process how somebody came up with these brands that are celebrity, Hollywood, Miami, nightclub driven in their marketing that came from these humble agrarian roots. And so for me, I was like, wait a minute, this just doesn't make any sense. One, that's just not my personal style, the nightclub thing, but also back to authenticity. It's this doesn't even make sense. So our brand is positioned to show, our product always in nature. So we don't show our product being consumed indoors a whole lot. We show people around a fire pit or around a campsite or after hiking or skiing or canoeing, and showing people interacting with nature because we think that's the whole premise that our brand was built on is it's from nature for nature. And we think that we can inspire people to embody that lifestyle by showing the product in a different way than every other brand is. So our product's always outdoors, and that's a fun little differentiator of ours.
I love that. Yeah, because like you said, almost every other alcohol is, nightclub, or they're all out at a bar, or, maybe you rarely ever see anybody inside anybody else's home. It's always, like you said, out at a bar, out at a nightclub, sexy models, all over the place, limousines, might as well be, Ric Flair, with 8 girls on each arm. It's crazy. And it's most common people aren't, first off, living that lifestyle to begin with, but also not consuming it in that way. where's the dive bar? Where's the guy with the, having a card night or something like that? And then I love that you guys are showing, from nature, by nature, and like you guys really want to show off that the humble beginnings of this. And I always thought that with the wine world too. I'm like, these are all farmers, and yet we're somehow supposed to be like these aristocrats drinking this wine that even these guys that are growing it are just going to hop in their, 70s truck and go down the road to talk to their neighbor, but it's like a mile or two down. They're not having the same situation. They're just, they're, actual farmer and real people.
Yeah, and I think people are starting to wake up and kind of realize kind of the vapid nature of a lot of these brandings. And so, ultimately marketing is like human psychology, right? And understanding what is going to motivate somebody's buying decision. And unfortunately, a lot of brands in our industry, I think, really focus on some of the most negative emotions and qualities that we humans have, which are greed, avarice, jealousy. That's what luxury branding is all about. It's like playing on all of these really negative emotions that are inherent in all of us. And we think there's another equally powerful set of emotions, which is like inspiration for, doing better for me, my health, and we, like the community and the environment. And, if you zoom out the cameras and look at other industries, like the clothing industry, we look to Patagonia as one of our North Stars, Patagonia clothing, as a brand that produces some of the highest quality, outdoor gear, but does so in a truly authentic, mission-first way. And we think, wait, why can't brands in our industry, follow that paradigm as opposed to this other narrative that, Hollywood created? And so, and then from like, again, always thinking about like, how does this not just get us excited, but how does this make business sense? Because we are, a business at the end of the day. It's like, well, to your point, I think there's a lot more Americans out there that identify with this kind of messaging than do identify with like the nightclub, balling out, red carpet, strippers lifestyle, right? And it's sort of like, why are more people not playing into that, of like speaking to this whole other kind of underserved audience that is not interested in any of those branding styles?
Yeah, I mean, I like that you are going after, the real American, because again, at the end of the day, most of us aren't going to be in those nightclubs with limousines showing up, or, getting dropped off by Uber XL or whatever it is. But, we are real humans. We drink our spirits and we enjoy them with friends. And, a lot of times we are outside as well. And so why wouldn't we just, combine all of that?
Yep. And then going back to Mexico, where this product's actually produced, is in Jalisco. I think I've not read a study on this, but in a lot of my trips there, I just feel like they are outdoors as a part of their daily life more so than we are. And again, that's sort of like a gross over generalization, but it definitely feels that way because it's agrarian and it's farming community and everything like that. And so we always want to be authentic back to where our product comes from. So, our product is all produced in Mexico with our family, the Vivanco family, as our production partners, and it is a true partnership in the brand. Our market right now is the United States, because I'm, like I said, from Tennessee and know this market, but we do plan on selling our product in Mexico and in other countries like in Europe and, who knows, over the years, and are trying to build something that we think is scalable for like this much bigger kind of movement that we see going on, and also always keeping it, authentic to its roots.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to building a brand, you've got to think about the name, the logo, the bottles. They're all huge factors. How did you guys kind of decide on, I mean, the Jaguar obviously was going to be in the name because of what you guys are doing for the animal itself, but how did everything else kind of fall into place and come together?
Yeah, so it typically starts with the name, and so we knew we wanted Jaguar in the name because of our conservation mission. So our goal is to donate 10% of our profits to supporting wild jaguar conservation. Alma Del Jaguar in Spanish means soul or spirit of the jaguar. which we thought made sense because it played on like the fact that tequila is a spirit, you know, a beverage